All right, we'll get started in about 3 minutes. 3 minutes. All right, showtime. Let's get to it. We got some ground to make up. Went through and sweeped everything beforehand just to get entries I know we're going to enter. One second here. It looks like it kicked me out of one of my windows. Let me get back to that real quick. Then we'll get started. I did manage to figure out why my rig was running slowly late last night, so I have that fixed. Shouldn't have any more of the technical issues we've been having lately with me dropping from the live and such. And it does appear that we got at least one win overnight. And that looks like that was on silver. So let's take a look at that real quick. For 14,004 pips. So I will move this over. We'll get that announced later. In the meantime, let's start on the calls. We've got ZK versus Tether. ZK versus Tether. I'm going to take that on a sell to 0.03505. And this is a 30-minute sell. Our risk is 3.71. Entry price is going to be at 39.87. Stop is going to be at 41.17. And take profit's going to be at 35.05. All right, first call of the morning. The ZK versus Tether. 30-minute confirmation sell. Your entry price is 0.03987. Your take profit is going to be 0.04117 for 130 pips. Your take profit is going to be 0.03505 for 482 pips, with a risk to reward ratio of 3.7. And you'll find ZK versus Tether on Liquid Brokers. Next up, we have STRK versus Tether on a 30-minute confirmation. I'm going to take this on a sell to 0.1227. All right, it's going to be a risk of 5.02. We have entry at 1463. We have a stop loss at 1510. And we got to take profit at 1227. And STRK versus Tether on a 30-minute sell. Your entry price is 0.1463. Your stop loss is 0.1510 for 47 pips. Your take profit is 0.1227 for 236 pips. And the risk to reward ratio is 5.02. Again, this is STRK versus Tether. You will find that on Liquid Brokers and on BTCC. Next up, we've got Story Protocol versus Tether. Going to take that on a sell to 1.699. All right, this is going to be a 60-minute confirmation. We have a risk of 4.65. Our entry price is 2.652. We have a stop loss of 2.857. And we have a take profit of 1.699. All right, we've got Story Protocol versus Tether. It's a 60-minute confirmation. Your entry price is 2.652. Your stop loss is 2.857 for 205 pips. Your take profit is 1.699 for 953 pips, with a risk to reward ratio of 4.65. Again, this is Story Protocol versus Tether. You can find that on Liquid Brokers and BTCC. Next up, we have Tron versus Tether, targeting a sell to 0.2717. It's going to be a 30-minute confirmation. Risk is 3.33. We've got entry at 2747. We have stop loss at 2756. And we've got to take profit at 2717. And we've got Tron versus Tether on a 30-minute sell. Your entry price is 0.2747. Your stop loss is 0.2756 for 9 pips. Your take profit is 0.2717 for 30 pips. And your risk to reward ratio is 3.33. Again, this is Tron versus Tether. You can find that pair on Liquid Brokers and BTCC. Next up, we have Avalanche versus Tether. I'm going to take this on a sell targeting 1327. And this is going to be a 60-minute confirmation. Risk is going to be 2.92. Entry price is going to be $13.97. Stop loss is going to be $14.21. And take profit is going to be $13.27. All right, we've got Avalanche versus Tether on a 60-minute sell. Entry price is 13.97. Stop loss is 14.21 for 24 pips. Take profit is 13.27 for 70 pips with a risk to reward ratio of 2.92. Again, this is Avalanche versus Tether. You can find that pair on Liquid Brokers and BTCC. And we have the euro versus the Swiss franc. That's already taken off on us, but that is going to hit take profit. All right, we've got Sun versus Tether on a sell targeting 0.01996. This is going to be a 15-minute confirmation. Risk is 4.40. We have entry at 2106. We have stop at 2131. And we have take profit at 1996. All right, we've got Sun versus Tether, a 15-minute sell. Your entry price is going to be 0.02106. Your stop loss is going to be 0.02131 for 25 pips. Your take profit is going to be 0.01996 for 110 pips with a risk to reward ratio of 4.40. You can find this pair on BTCC. Moving on, we have Dash versus the United States dollar. This is a spot. Kind of nervous about that setup. because it already actually hit our stop loss originally. And Dash is one of those cryptocurrencies that will take off on you. So we're not going to enter this trade. Matter of fact, we got this, and I think we have 230 minutes up here. So we're going to ignore those. Because it's re-entry, we'll take it. Next up, we have Dent versus Tether. This is on a 1 hour sell. Targeting 332. All right, we've got risk of 3.00. We have entry at 350. We have stop at 356. And we have take profit at 332. All right, Dent versus Tether on a 60-minute sell. Entry price is 0.000350. Stop loss is 0.000356 for 6 pips. Take profit is 0.000332 for 18 pips. We have a risk to reward ratio of 3.00. Again, this is Dent versus Tether. You'll find that on liquid brokers. We're already in Sun. Next up, we have a chance on Euro versus Swiss franc. That's already moved on us, so we won't be entering that trade. We have Zero versus Tether, targeting 1.216. All right, our risk is 3.52. We have entry at 1.304. We have stop at 1.329. And we have take profit at 1.216. All right, that's Zero versus Tether on a 60-minute sell. Your entry price is going to be 1.304. Stop loss is 1.329 for 25 pips. Take profit is 1.216 for 88 pips. The risk to reward ratio is 3.52. And that is 0 versus Tether. You can find that trade on both liquid brokers and BTCC. Next up, we have Shiba Inu versus Tether, targeting 757. This is also going to be a 1-hour confirmation. Our risk is going to be 3.67. We've got entry at 834. We've got stop at 855. And we've got take profit at 757. All right, Shiba Inu versus Tether. It's a 60-minute sell. Your entry price is 0.00000834. Stop loss 0.00000855 for 21 pips. Take profit 0.00000757 for 77 pips. And a risk to reward ratio of 3.67. You can find Shiba Inu on BTCC. Moving on, we have Injective versus Tether, targeting 5.30. This is going to be a 60-minute confirmation. We've got a risk of 3.19. We have entry at 581. We have stop at 597. And we have take profit at 530. All right, INJ versus Tether, 60-minute sell. Your entry price is 5.81. Stop loss is 5.97 for 16 pips. Take profit is 5.30 for 51 pips. Risk to reward ratio is 3.19. And you can find INJ versus Tether on both liquid brokers and BTCC. Next up, we have Engine versus Tether, targeting 553. Move that to slightly above price. And risk is going to be 2.62. We have entry at 587. We have stop at 600. And we've got take profit at 553. Engine versus Tether on a 60-minute sell. Your entry price is 0.587. Stop loss is 0.600 for 13 pips. Take profit is 0.553 for 34 pips. And a risk to reward ratio of 2.62. And this is Engine versus Tether. You can find this on both liquid brokers and BTCC. And last up, we have Great British Pound versus the Australian dollar. We're going to take this on a buy, targeting 2.0458. And this is a 30-minute confirmation. Risk is going to be 2.65. We have entry at 2.03288. We have stop at 2.02801. And we've got take profit at 2.0458. And we've got the Great British Pound Sterling on a 30-minute confirmation buy. The entry price is 2.03288. Your stop loss is going to be 2.02801 for 49 pips. Your take profit is going to be 2.04580 for 129 pips. and a risk to reward ratio of 2.65. Again, that is the Great British Pound Sterling versus the Australian dollar. That is a minor cross pair for Forex currency. With that, we're caught up for the morning. We're now going to fall into a 15-minute pace of calls until 11 a.m. Our next opportunities to enter the market will be at 9:10 a.m. for the futures market and at 9:15 a.m. for everything else that we trade. We do a trade across multiple asset pairs. We trade commodities, natural gas, oil, precious metals. We trade a number of crypto perpetuals, over 240 of them. We trade crypto spots. These are cryptos versus the US dollar. We trade every major and minor cross pair for Forex currency. We trade most of the exotic currencies. We trade world indices. We trade futures. And we trade stocks. So we did have a win. I'm going to go ahead and announce that now. That was on silver for 14,004 pips. Always wonderful when a plan falls together. We've been in that trade for about a week. We did win on the futures for silver and micro silver yesterday, so I was kind of waiting on this one to hit. They don't perfectly correlate with one another, so this one took a few hours more. All right, that's win number 1,468 for us for this year. That brings us to 6,127,664 pips won year to date. Let me recalculate the win percentage. And we're now at 57.86% win rate. Not bad. Grab this again. And again, that was a tape profit smashed. That was on silver versus the United States dollar, which was originally a 15-minute buy. We entered at 50.97667. We had a stop loss of 50.67926 for 2,974 pips. And we smashed tape profit at 52.37705 for 14,004 pips on a risk reward ratio of 4.71. Congratulations to those of you that hit that big win on silver. I know it took over a week to get. And we have a buy opportunity on the United States dollar versus the Swiss franc. I'm going to be taking this to 0.81026. This is also going to be a 30-minute confirmation. Our risk here is 3.26. We've got entry at 806.35. We've got stop at 805.15. And we've got take profit at 81038. All right, we got a buy on the United States dollar versus the Swiss franc. It's a 30-minute buy. Your entry price is 0.80635. Your stop loss is 0.80515 for 12 pips. Your take profit is 0.81038 for 39 pips and a risk to reward ratio of 3.26. This is a major Forex pair. All right, we're still in a downtrend on Bitcoin. We've got a major order block that's formed at 82,300. There's another at 76,200. And there's a smaller one at 71,000 even. And that is all that divides Bitcoin from hitting the very last bastion of support, which sits around 55,000. So hopefully this holds. If it doesn't, there's going to be more pain. But you definitely do not want to go long on Bitcoin right now. Any short-term retracement is a short-term retracement. Look for opportunities to sell. So it looks like we've been down to 86,306. Bottom of structures at 85,272, which is below the low for the day. Interesting. Okay. See how things look on the short term. Got a possible breakage of structure at 86,300. And if price somehow breaks that, then we're falling all the way down to 81,000 even. So it looks like we've got a little bit of consolidation. If we do have a breakout, we're looking at a 5,000 point loss on Bitcoin. Well, 6,000 point loss. 87 down to 81. So we'll stay looking at it. I'm interested to see whether or not it's going to invalidate that order block. So what you're seeing is all the red. These are people trying to sell Bitcoin. And these are people trying to buy Bitcoin on limit orders. So the guys up top are betting that price will increase to this level and then sell off. Everyone down here is betting that price will come down to this point and buy up. One of these two groups of people are going to get liquidated. And unfortunately for the people that are trying to buy Bitcoin, they're at a severe disadvantage. This is where all the liquidations you've been hearing in the news have been coming from. People attempting to try and catch price, hoping beyond hope it's going to buy up, and it has not done so. All right. Let's check news. I don't know of anything of note today. All right, we had positive news on unemployment claims. Now, this is a weird figure because unemployment claims in the United States is based off of how many people are claiming unemployment insurance. It doesn't necessarily mean that there are more people working. It just means that there are less people on unemployment. So this number could be caused by people simply running out of unemployment claim insurance at their state level. So they just don't have any money at all. So, yeah. Even our unemployment rate here is all janky because it's not real unemployment. So no major news for today. Futures on the Dow Jones Industrial Average, the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, and the Russell 2000. Got slightly positive futures on gold, even though I think we may get a sell off of that today. We got positive future on the French 40, the UK 100, and the German 30. Got positive futures on the Japanese Nikkei 225, the Hong Kong 50, and the Asian 200. And we got a mixed bag on cryptocurrency. We'll go and take a look at that here in a second. All right, so Bitcoin is down. Fine. Bitcoin dominance is up, and Ethereum versus Bitcoin is down. So that is the reason why the market's getting crushed. If you're trying to look for physical cryptocurrency buys and you're looking at altcoins, theoretically what you want to see is three things at the same time: a decline in Bitcoin price, a decline in Bitcoin dominance, and an increase of Ethereum over Bitcoin. You want Ethereum to outperform Bitcoin because Ethereum is the number one cryptocurrency used as gas to purchase altcoins. So when you see that dynamic, altcoins pump. If you don't, you see altcoins getting obliterated like they are right now. All right, we got something on 6S1. We can take that. Let me get rid of this. This is the future on a Swiss franc. We're going to take this on a sell, targeting 1.2371. Now, I take my futures trades off of Top Step X. There are other platforms that have these as well. But yeah, this is the future on the Swiss franc. It's a 30-minute confirmation. We've got a risk of 3.11. We've got an entry at 1.24285. Got stop at 1.24470. It's for 37. We've got take profit at 1.2371. All right, we've got 6S1. This is the futures on the Swiss franc, 30-minute sell. Entry price is 1.24285. Stop loss is 1.24470 for 37 pips. Take profit is 1.23710 for 115 pips. And a risk to reward ratio of 3.11. Again, this is the futures on the Swiss franc. I use LHFX, but there are other brokers that have these as well. In the meantime, we have about 4 minutes left. Two additional opportunities to enter the futures market at 9:25. These people are all idiots. Everyone's saying that Bitcoin's about to hit the bottom. It is not. These institutions are not done liquidating these people. As long as they can see something in range, they're going to take it. You go to the daily and you already can see protecting the act of God to keep from Bitcoin from going down and wiping out everyone down in the 71 range. It's going to take all this liquidity. All right, 9:25. I don't hear anything, so nothing in the futures market. Got 3 minutes to the middle of the hour for the next opportunities to enter the rest of the market. It does look like we're not getting a lot of short time frame opportunities, so a lot of this stuff is coming on the 30-minute and the 1 hour lately. I expect that to change once the London Stock Exchange closes at 10 a.m. If you're not familiar with the markets, the London Stock Exchange is the largest stock exchange. The U.S. Stock Exchange out of New York is the second largest, but money typically runs in perpendicular between those two markets. So even though there's more liquidity between 8:30 a.m. and 10 a.m. when both markets are open, that doesn't necessarily mean that trades are going to move more quickly to take profit. They tend to do so once London closes at 10 a.m. and before the lunch hours when you normally get runs on your London setups, if it didn't happen before you get to the opening bell of New York. So typically for a retail trader, the only real solid times to trade are between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m. Central Standard Time in the morning, the first 2 hours of London, and then again in New York from the opening bell up till about 11 a.m. After that, it becomes flat. You definitely don't want to trade during the Sydney session. You definitely don't want to trade during the Asian session. You're almost always going to lose your ass there. One minute left to go. After we get these signals out, we'll go to cryptobubbles.net and see where this money's going. Hmm. All right, nothing immediate. Got about 2 more minutes before TradingView gets through all the trades. See if we have something here. If that isn't the case, then our next opportunity to enter the market will be at 9:40 a.m. for the futures market and 9:45 a.m. for the rest of the market. Looks like I messed up on my lot size on silver. So even though we got that big win, I only made $134 off of it, but that's fine. A win is a win. All right, so nothing new for 9:30. Looks like we have 160 positions open right now. Well, we're to the unsexy part, waiting. I don't know how many of you are new to trading, but if you haven't seen a inside of a broker before, I'll show you one of mine. This is my setup on BTCC, which is a broker I use for crypto perpetual trades that I can't find on my other broker. Um, on this broker, I have 121 open orders, got about 556K of free margin, sitting on about 820K in cash. And I have the pairs that I'm in ordered by P&L. So my top position open on BTCC is on EDU versus Tether. I don't remember precisely when we took this trade. We've got two spots on it. So one is going to take profit for 17,472.73. And the other one, which I think I took on a much smaller lot size, is going to be for like 1,700 and change. So that's what I'm waiting on. So right now I'm doing this off of a single laptop. I really need multiple screens. So I'm probably going to move to a PC version instead of doing this on a laptop. for my next setup for the lives. And that way I can have all of my stuff running at the same time. Jesus. Oh, crypto bubbles. Find out where this money's going. I'm interested. Okay, so this is a visualization tool. So it kind of helps you figure things out. This is the market cap for the day. So we do have positive cash inflows for Bitcoin and for Ethereum and for a few other coins. So they're in the top 100. For the last hour, everything's kind of getting hit. So people will definitely taking their money off. Rain is an interesting case. You'll see as we go up in time frame what I'm talking about. It's a coin I don't hear a lot of people talking about at all, but it's been kicking absolute ass this year. So in the last day, it looks like we have SPX, Dashcoin, MON, and STRK being up. In the last week, Rain has doubled in value. And again, no one is talking about this coin. I'm shocked they aren't. You can clearly see the activity there. For the last month, it's also doubled in value. Now, for the last year, AB is definitely the winner here. It's up 12,947%. I don't hear anyone talking about it either. Same thing with Dcash. Zcash is up 1,500% this year. In actual price, and hype is up as well. So what you start to see, swirl them up. Let's go back to our setup. So it looks like we got a call. We'll come back to crypto bubbles later. So this is FET. What do we have here? We have a take profit smashed on that FET versus Tether. That doesn't mean much to us. It's like we have an order filled on United States dollar versus Israeli shekel. Slightly in stop loss territory. That's fine. Don't care about that either. No immediate dings on the futures market. We got less than 5 minutes left to go to the market proper. So kind of what you want to see here is you want to follow the money. So let's look at the last hour. And we only care about performance. You start working our way down the list to see what you would actually hop into. H versus Tether is doing well. Nothing there. Nothing really there either. I've never even heard of bullish before. Let's look at the day. Let's start from the bottom, work our way up. Nothing really interesting there. Or there. Nice. I know UX links, but I don't know these two. Have to take a look at those white papers today. Nothing I see that's interesting there. I've heard of Dodo before. Wow. Okay. So Zion is up 210% today. Means people are applying money into it. Typically, what you want is a cryptocurrency with a low liquidity pool because it takes a really small amount of money to pump the coin up. If you can find the right one, you can actually pump the coin up yourself if you have enough free cash lying around. Then you turn around and take out your own money when the price goes up. Hmm. And market's getting its ass kicked today, so there's really not much. I don't see any superstars today. It's all kind of meh. You start looking at the month and the week, probably. Interesting. All right, got about 40 seconds left to go to our next ticker. See if we can get ourselves some change out of the market now. We're at 9:45. I still don't hear any dings. Looks like we're going to have to wait till London closes at 10 a.m. to get any real action out of the market. 9:55 a.m. Central Standard Time for the futures market. 10 a.m. the closing bell of the London Stock Exchange. maybe, just maybe, we get a surprise in the next 15 minutes and Bitcoin makes a run to try and break through this order block. That would be great. Gasoline is up. That sucks. Crude oil. All right. We got take profits smashed on Great British Pound versus Japanese Yen. That's for 165 pips. All right, that's win number 1,469 for us for the year. What was that, 165 pips? Sweet. Oops. All right, so we got take profit smash on the Great British Pound versus the Japanese Yen. It's originally a 15-minute buy, entry at 205.098, stop at 204.772 for 33 pips, and take profit smashed at 206.750 for 165 pips. Congratulations to those of you who took that trade. Crypto spot, that's Solana. Crude oil. Some of these I'm actually shocked haven't hit yet. This portal. All right, so no new things for 9:55 for the futures market. We're about to have the closing bell of the London Stock Exchange in a little under 4 minutes. And then things should get a little interesting for us. Again, part of the problem is that even though you have the London market and the US market open from 8:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, so you have more liquidity, European money typically runs perpendicular to US money, so things fall into a little bit of consolidation, even though there's more money in the market. And then once London closes, things loosen up, trades start flowing again. So long as you've entered in the correct direction with the correct trend, you gain more ground after London closes each day for New York. So the only thing that's against us is we don't really have any major news today, particularly on the US dollar. So we may hit a few take profits today, but we won't hit a lot of them. Unless something unforeseen happens that I just don't know about yet. Like a run on cash flows or cash outflows on Bitcoin ETFs. That would be helpful for us. In the meantime, if you haven't already done so, I'd appreciate it if you would subscribe to the channel. If you're on a platform that allows you to do so, like the video and turn on those notifications. Keep abreast of when I do go live in the market. I am the Pit Messiah. You can find me on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, Kick, and Nemo TV. You can also find the podcast on Apple TV, Amazon TV, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. We go live every weekday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday from 2 a.m. Central Standard Time to 4 a.m. Central Standard Time for the London session. And then again from 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time to 11 a.m. Central Standard Time for the New York session. All right, London has now closed. It's now 10 a.m. in the morning. We got about an hour left in the live. I don't see any immediate activity just yet. We'll find out in a moment how things are going to go. So if you do happen to want to trade tomorrow, make sure that you get into your brokers and find out any information you can on their schedule for the holidays. Some brokers have funny hours, so you don't want to get caught in trades that can kind of get you blown up. I do trade on Thanksgiving, so I've already checked out my brokers and they're going to be fine. Okay, yet another ding. I'm going to get to that here in a second. Let's take a look. Buy on zero. So that is Swiss franc versus the Japanese yen. And that hit stop loss. I don't like that setup, so we're certainly not going to try and sell that back into price. So Swiss franc is gaining strength, which is good for our sell on the futures of Swiss franc. It does look our book is being affected by a run on Bitcoin for about 600 points up in the last 15 minutes. I do not expect that to hold long term. All right, about 5 minutes left to the next ticker on the futures market at 10:10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Got stop loss hit on a sell setup on the NASDAQ 100 that may give us a re-entry for a sell. So we're going to be taking a look at that. That's a big move too, so that would be nice to be able to get a 3,000 point drop. Okay, we'll see. It looks like all the world markets, with the exception of the Australian 200, are all acting the same way. They have breakouts at the top of the Asian range. So right now we're looking for them to basically be overbought so that we can get into sell opportunities on these. Long term, the France 40 and the Japanese Nikkei are on buys. So I wouldn't recommend trying to short those two. But for the US markets, those are game. So if we can get a short on the NASDAQ, the S&P 500, the US 30, or the Russell 2000, we're going to take our shot. Even better if we can double up and also get those shorts on the futures market as well. Not enough movement though. Bitcoin is inching closer to a strong reversal zone. This is the ADX. So if you have an ADX over 25, that's normally an indication of a strong reversal coming up. So you're looking at price action. Price action is going up. If ADX crosses 25, you're looking for a strong sell off. So it's close to that zone. It ain't there yet. Yeah. Is it divergent at the very least? No. Hmm. Okay. Got less than a minute to go to the quarter of the hour. We should get some more dings for the rest of the market at that point. And there we go. We've got a sell on the euro versus the Polish zloty. Let's take a look. That'll market 10:30 in the morning. We'll take that on a sell. We have a sell opportunity. Actually, this is a buy opportunity. Wonderful. This is the euro versus the Swiss franc. We're going to take this. We're going to take on a buy to 0.93586. It's going to be a 15-minute buy. Risk is 4.88. We've got entry at 93347. We've got stop at 93298. And we've got take profit at 93586. We've got a buy on the euro versus the Swiss franc. This is a 15-minute buy. Your entry price is 0.93347. Stop loss is 0.93586. Oops, sorry, stop loss is 0.93298 for 5 pips. Take profit is 0.93586 for 24 pips. We have a risk to reward ratio of 4.88. This is a minor cross pair for Forex. Again, that is the euro versus the Swiss franc. And then we're sitting on a 15-minute confirmation on a euro versus Polish zloty. That's going to mark itself off at 10:30. Our next ticker is going to be at 10:25 a.m. for the futures market, and then 10:30 a.m. for the rest of the market. In the meantime, we maybe get some entries on a buy or sell basis on the reversal of price action, but that remains to be seen. So generally speaking, what we're looking at on a sell opportunity is for price to retrace back up into price action to give us a better risk to reward as we take this on a sell. It happens most of the time. I would say around 85% of the time it does. So if you're taking a trade and you have a sell confirmation, wait at least one candle. So you're looking at the time frame on the 15-minute. Wait 15 minutes after you get your confirmation. Let price come back to you, then enter. Very rarely is it just going to take off on you. Same thing on a buy. Wait for price to come back to you, then enter it. It's going to give you a better risk to reward ratio. It's going to cover some of the space of price retracing towards your stop loss, and it'll keep you from getting stopped out as much. You will definitely see a market improvement in your win percentage if you do that. And as you can see, exactly what I told you would happen is happening. Price is climbing for euro versus Polish zloty. That's going to give us a better entry when we take the trade in about 10 minutes. Now, this is an exotic Forex currency. What that means is it's a combination of a major currency versus the currency of an emerging economy. In this case, it's the euro, the essential currency of the European Union, versus the Polish zloty, the national currency of Poland. Most brokers, you'll see PLN versus the United States dollar, the euro, and the Great British pound sterling. Mhm. All right, so nothing immediate for the futures market at 10:25. Got less than 5 minutes left to the mark off on euro versus Polish zloty. and more possible entries on a buy or sell basis for the rest of the market. 10:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. In the meantime, this pair is doing exactly what we want it to do before we take the trade. So sell opportunity, we want price action to move up in price to give us a better risk to reward ratio. As a reminder for those of you who have not already done so, I would certainly appreciate your support. Drop me a subscribe. Like the video if you have that opportunity on the platform you're watching on, and also turn on those notifications to keep abreast of when we do go live in the market. And the Pivot side, you can find me on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, Kick, Nemo TV if you're in Southeast Asia. And in the podcast, you can find on Apple TV, Amazon TV, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. We do go live 5 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, 2 a.m. Central Standard Time to 4 a.m. Central Standard Time for the London session. And then from the opening bell of the New York Stock Exchange at 8:30 a.m. all the way up to 11 a.m. for New York, Monday through Friday. Would love to see you back. Meantime, we're running up of about 2 minutes left to go until the middle of the hour. There we go. We have possible entries on the futures market on the 1 hour for NASDAQ 100, or these stop loss hits. So stop loss hits, so we can ignore those. Got about 1 minute left to 10:30. Then we'll get our mark off on Euro versus the Polish Nati. And hopefully some additional fresh signals. And there we go. And we've got a short to 4.22186. And we've got a risk of 3.08. We've got entry at 4.2319. Got stop at 4.23516. And we've got take profit of 422,186. And we've got the euro versus the Polish zloty. This is a 15-minute sell. Your entry price is going to be 4.23190. Your stop loss is going to be 4.23516 for 33 pips. And your take profit is going to be 4.22186 for 100 pips with a risk to reward ratio of 3.08. Again, this is the euro versus the Polish zloty. It is an exotic Forex currency. Next ticker is going to be at 10:40 a.m. Central Standard Time for the futures market. Then again at 10:45 a.m. Central Standard Time for the rest of the markets. Right, we've got more. Let's take a look. Looks like we have a buy order filled on ZEC versus Tether. Actually, it's going to give us a re-entry, but we're not going to touch that one. ZEC is dangerous. I did mention this earlier. If you have not or aren't familiar with ZEC, it's up a crazy amount this year. Oh, wow. Grayscale just filed to convert Zcash, its trust, into an ETF. That would be interesting to see happen. But yeah, and then the crypto version of it, perpetual version rather, also up similarly. So it's been rocking this year. Does appear to be having a rough week though. It was trading over 600 per coin less than a week ago. All right, in the meantime, we are awaiting our next entry to the market. That's going to be at 10:40 a.m. That's for the futures market. A little less than a minute and a half from now. Then we'll have more opportunities to enter the market at 10:45 a.m. Central Standard Time for the market proper. I'm going to walk away and fire up this shower so I can start my day after we get done. But not doing half bad today. So I'm working with my team to develop plans to actually come and trade live with you guys in person. There'll be a US tour and a tour in several countries. Internationally, we're going to start the tour in Africa. I believe the first country is going to be Nigeria. We're also going to be hitting up Kenya, South Africa, and more than likely Ghana. In the United States, I'm already stationed here in Houston, so of course we'll be doing events here. And then I probably want to hit up New York City, Miami, Los Angeles, San Francisco, Chicago, Washington, D.C., and a few others. Be a good opportunity for me to just meet some of the people that trade with me in person, particularly those in the other side of the pond, and that would be real fun. And it'll grow the community. I have decided on a goal for next year. We're going to go for 10 million pips. I think that's really doable. We didn't even trade a full year this year. I started on February 3rd because of my health issues leading into the year, and then I've probably taken a total of maybe 2 months off of trading in that point in time, and we're still north of 6 million pips. So 10 million pips for an entire year of just focusing, that's not difficult to do. What that would mean is that if you took every trade that we hit and we hit 10 million pips, and you trade at the lowest lot size that you can take, which is 0.01, you would make $1 million in profit for the year. So my goal is to make several six-figure traders next year. We've done it this year, even on a short year. So just got to be consistent with it. You're going to lose trades. It's fine. The point is to have proper risk to reward ratio on every one of your trades, and to have proper risk management in terms of the lot sizes that you're taking. If you can stay in trades and not be equity stopped out, you're going to win consistently. You're going to compound consistently. Assuming most of you are not already trading, it's probably going to take you about 6 months or so before you can dependably take out any sort of withdrawals that are going to make you a difference in you. But every Friday, you should always take out 10% of your profit that you made in the previous week. It's a belief test. I can still remember 10 years ago, the first time I was able to take out a withdrawal on a Friday that was more than $100. And I was very, very happy. But then again, I was so afraid trading my first 2 years that I would never hold trades to take profit. I would see the blue and I would exit the trade and take my money. Year 3 is when I really started getting serious. It's been kind of game busters ever since. The goal is simply to be consistent. You don't want to enter the trade blindly at any point in time. You want to develop a system for confirmations that you are going to see every single time that you enter a trade. And you want to know what direction is. I'm going to teach you guys a simple way of doing that here in a second. We're about to hit our 1045 ticker. All right, so here's what you want to do. You go to tradingview.com. This is the trading platform that you see me using right now. You want to click on indicators, and you want to type in DeLorean EMAs. This one right here. Add that to your chart. It's free. What you're looking for are these 3 lines: the aqua line, the gray line, and the blue line. The aqua line is the 50 EMA. The gray line is the 200 EMA. The blue line is the 800 EMA. On any asset, on any time frame, if these lines appear in this order, blue on top, gray in the middle, and aqua on the bottom, you're in a downtrend. So real simple. EGA equals downtrend. Conversely, if you're looking at the chart, you have aqua on the top, gray in the middle, and blue on the bottom, AGB, that's an uptrend. Literally nothing to think about. If it's any other combination of those three lines, do not enter the trade. I don't care what you think you see. You don't trade against the trend. If you do that, and your trade setup is at least 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio, you will compound your account. It doesn't get any more complicated than that. Literally. In 12 years, I've probably taken just shy of 32,000 trades, and I've never had a year when I've won less than 50% of my trades. Even when I was learning, using this same system. And I haven't changed it in 12 years. Because I don't need to. Does it always work? No. No system will get you to 100% win rate. No system is going to reliably get you a win rate above maybe 60, 70%. If you hear people that are out there trying to promote that they're winning at 80, 90% of their trades, they're lying to you. And if they are, they're not trading. They're basically sniping. You can run your rent up percentage up doing that, but that doesn't take any skill. That's just guesswork. That's not trading. You're entering in your direction and you just stay in the trade. There's no magic to it. Allows you to actually go to sleep and not be on the chart 24/7, stressing yourself out, heartburn, holes in your stomach because of freaking, ulcers and crap like that. You don't need to do any of that stuff. I have my alerts already set up. I don't have to think about it. Every 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hour, 4 hour, day, week, month, 3 months, and 6 months, it's giving me trade opportunities. All I have to do is I look to see if it's a downtrend or an uptrend. Does it match with the short or long exit? If it does, I wait for it to mark the trade and I take the trade. There's also an advance entry, and that is price rolls back into price and gives me an opportunity to take a buy or sell. I'll call those too. But even if you just did the bread and butter, you're going to win at least 45% of your trades with no skill at all. And that's going to help if you have at least 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio. That means you could lose 66.67% of your trades and still be in profit. And the goal is just to grow your account. So what does that math look like? I'll show you. You start your account with $500. You're just growing at 1% per day, which means your goal for your first day of trading is you just want to make $5. That's remarkably easy to do. There are 261 weekdays in every single year in the calendar. So if you did that every year, every day for 1 year, you would turn $500 into $61,1275. Well, if you took 61112.75 times 1.01 to the 261st power, which is approximately 12.2255, at the end of year 3, you would be sitting on $74,731.42. If you did that for a third year in a row, you'd be sitting on $913,629.04 at the end of 3 years, growing a $500 account at 1% per day. A very conservative means of growing your account. The moment you hit your growth goal for the day, you stop trading. You do not enter the market again. You're done for the day. Go enjoy your day. The only thing that's going to change over time is your lot size is going to grow So it's going to be easier for you to make your 1%. But you don't do anything different. You confirm the uptrend or downtrend. You confirm whether it's a buy or sell opportunity. You enter the trade in a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio or greater, and you wait for your money. If you took that same 913,000 and change for year 4, you're still growing at 1% per day. At the end of year 4, you're at $11,169,571.80. Almost none of you will ever make that much money in a 40-year career working for yourself or for other people. And that's why this skill is kind of life-changing. I, for one, when I learned how to trade, it cost me thousands of dollars across multiple years to learn how to trade from other people who knew what they were doing. And it did not consistently help me to profit. And that was a great frustration for me. So my goal was to become an effective signal caller so that I could help new traders who were in the market profit. And I did not want to ever put that behind a pay gate. I think that's patently unfair. If you have a gift that you're blessed to learn, pay it forward. And that's exactly what I'm doing. So if you have the wherewithal to drop a follow, and you have the wherewithal to get up for the lives at 2 a.m. for London and for 8:30 a.m. for New York, come and get this money. Find a reputable broker. You can use mine if you want to. My links are in the description to the video. I use liquid brokers. I use LHFX, I use BTCC, and I use TopStepX. Those are the 4 brokers I use to trade all my assets. And just take the trades. You will win. Every Friday, look at the amount of money that you've won for that week. Take out 10% of that money. Pay yourself. Then you're not going to take that money and just spend it, even though I would recommend you get rid of your debt first. Pay off all your debts with your winnings first. Then you're going to start investing. This is how you do that. This is just an example. This is BlackRock. It's the largest venture capital firm in the world. When you get to the splash page, I want you to go to funds. I want you to scroll down and click on iShares ETFs. For investing, there's a rule called the Rule of 72. The Rule of 72 basically says take 72, you divide in your interest rate that you're earning on your money, and it tells you the number of years it takes for your money to double. So you want to look for the 10-year growth rate on these funds. And you see that the top fund here for BlackRock grows at 27.55% every year for the last 10 years. This year alone is up 43.07%, which means your money would grow about 2 years and 7 months. It would double by putting this money into this fund. If you took $10,000 and dumped it into that fund and left it alone for 30 years, you'd be sitting on around $3.12 million at the end of 30 years by doing nothing but parking the money and leaving it alone. For those of you who have a younger time horizon and you're young, you can do this. You can also do this for your children. It's an incredible way to build wealth for them. You got kids that are under the age of 18, take some money, chunk it in one of these funds and let it sit. Don't allow them to touch it until they retire. So about the time they draw retirement age around 65, then you give them the ETF. Put it in your will. You're going to change generations of your family by doing this. And then you require in your will for them to do the same thing for their children. You can double up this by doing it with insurance. Make sure everyone has plenty of insurance on them. You're going to die anyway. It passes tax-free to the next generation. They do the same thing on everyone else. You build wealth. This is how all the immigrants that come to this country acquire all that wealth that quickly. You think they're just making all that money? No. They're pulling together resources and getting very, very large, typically term life policies and sometimes whole life policies on the oldest person or the oldest people in their family. They cash in those policies, they rinse and repeat. If they're smart, they put it in trust and make their own community bank so they can borrow against their own funds and not have to pay any interest. And inside of one generation, it's why every freaking corner store, same ethnicity. All your restaurants, same ethnicities. All your bodegas and corner stores, same ethnicities. And you can do this with any firm. So you've got SunGard, you've got Vanguard, you got Fidelity, you got TD Waterhouse, you got Fisher Investments. There's a number of these guys. They all have these iShare ETFs. You look at the 10%, the 10-year percentage growth rate, and you want something that's over 12%. If you get that, that's all you need. If you can find them over 20%, that's even better. And that's my schmeal for the day. Now, we got 2 minutes left to go to the top of the hour, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. That's typically the last ticker that we do. And it's been a pleasure to serve you guys. So I hope you guys subscribe and come on back. Be up again at 2 a.m. Central Standard Time for London. Right after this, I'm going to hit the shower and clean up this kitchen and get ready to go to the gym. And I'm going to come back and get a well-deserved nap because I've been up all morning looking at charts and making sure that the live was going to be set up correctly for you guys. I suppose at some point I need to put together some content on kind of how you can approach what you're going to do with the money that you make from trading. All right, so nothing new for 11 a.m. That's it for us today. I'll see you bright and early at London for 2 a.m. Central Standard Time tomorrow morning. Again, if you haven't already done so, drop a follow, turn on the likes, turn on those notifications, keep abreast when I do go live in the market. You can find me at the Pit Messiah on just about every platform. And happy Thanksgiving if I don't see you guys for tomorrow. Cheers.